venison, whatever. Any lean meat will do. When I do pork, I buy a pork chop. Lean pork chops, I cut the fat off, I grind it up, and I fix it and I dehydrate it. So I'm going to show you what you do to get your meat ready to dehydrate. And this is essential. You've got to cook it a little bit, because what the cooking does is it gets off surface bacteria, and then it starts the drying process. Okay. This is a brass-like duo. It's made for 2 people. I like it because it gives me more, first of all, more pot room, and also more, room in general. Now, I carry matches, but you see this match? I'd save that. I'd put this right back in my container because, in fact, I don't always use a match. I use a stick. I always carry a lighter, and I'll take the stick that I pick up off the ground, little teeny one, dip it in the alcohol, and then light the stove. So I'm keeping this because I'm going to have to relight my stove.
That fuel is just denatured alcohol?
Denatured alcohol. You can get it in any hardware store. You can use
What is that container that you have it in? Stored?
Oh, this is I went high tech. I got a titanium container.
It's not an algae.
No, it's not an algae. This one isn't. I forget what this one was, but I bought it.
You can buy titanium.
You can carry denatured alcohol in plastic containers as well if you get a plastic. But I had a rat at Hilton bite my plastic bottle.
But he was surprised.
Well, no, he wanted. He thought, this is good. The thing is, it was denatured. Probably killed him. All right.
Well, rat is a dead rat.
No. Well, I'm glad I didn't meet him. Okay, so I've got my beef here, and this is a pound of beef. I'm only going to use 4 ounces because we're going to eat this for lunch. So I'm going to use less than that. Just a little less because that's more than 4 ounces. What I have people do, in my dehydration process. Okay, so you see how pink and white all the meat is and everything? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cook it on a very low heat. If you have a stove and you have all the burners are bigger than that burner, you want to cook it on a very low heat because you do not want to brown it. You do not want to crisp it. You're going to try to rehydrate this, and you don't want to fry the proteins and make them stiff and unpliable. So all you want to do, what I'm going to do is kind of like make this, see now there are pieces that are starting to turn a little brown. In other words, all I want to do is get rid of the pink. And what happens when you do that is water will start to come out of it. Now I've taken here a lean beef. You don't want fatty meats because they go rancid. The fats will go rancid. I remember trying, when Chris and I did our Colorado Trail hike, I did this with salmon. Oh boy, it was terrible. It was rancid. It didn't last at all. So fish, I do packets. And I have dinners with seafood in them, and I just say, bring a packet of seafood with you. You can get them in bigger packets too. They also used to make packets of chicken. They used to make packets of little shrimp and crab meat, which I have recipes for, but I haven't seen those packets around lately, so I don't know. But I like it. So we're getting it now. What happens when we do this, when you finish with this cooking process? What you do is you have your dehydrator, and the dehydrator comes with a screen insert, and you can buy these with dehydrators and use it for your meats because your meat's going to get very small and it will fall through this easily. Your meat's going to turn out to be BBs. You want little hard BBs. You don't want leather. You don't want soft. You want hard.
That's called a dehydrator?
Dehydrator. This is a dehydrator tray.
Where'd you get that?
With my dehydrator. I'm sorry. This is just a tray. It sits on top of a motor and a fan, and it plugs in, okay? I couldn't bring the whole thing with me. I'm sorry. Now, what I did for myself was I got some vinyl screening at the hardware store, and I made my own insert out of vinyl screening. I use it a lot, okay? Oh, look, we're getting water out of here. Look at this. Water.
Yeah.
See, the water's coming out. And when it's all gray like this, when it's all turned gray, then what you can do is just put it on the tray, spread it out on the tray as much as possible on your tray. I'm not going to do that because we're going to eat this. and I don't want to spoil it anymore. We're going to eat this with our Piscetti dinner here.
I
But
always
this
thought
one-
that was fat coming out, rather than.
It is some fats. Yeah, you lose some fats, which is good. Okay? But it's also